Today, we're diving into how two absolute smash hit video games let one company completely rewrite its own future, all in a single blockbuster quarter that pretty much nobody saw coming.
So we're talking about the Japanese tech giant CyberAgent, and their latest financial results are, frankly, stunning. It's a perfect case study, really, of just how volatile and unbelievably profitable the video game world can be.
This number right here is the key to the whole story, 66 billion yen. That's their brand new forecast for full-year operating profit. It's a massive, almost hard-to-believe jump from what they were projecting just a few months back.
What's really wild here is the sheer scale of this change. We're talking a 57% jump in their operating profit forecast and almost 48% for net profit. You know, companies don't just nudge their forecasts up by this much. They blew them completely out of the water. So how on earth did they do it?
Okay, so how does a company even do that? To get it, you've got to look at how their business is split up. CyberAgent's story is really a tale of three very different parts.
Now, while other parts of the company did okay, one single division was the powerhouse, the undisputed engine behind all of this. The game business is pretty much single-handedly responsible for those incredible numbers we just saw.
Okay, so let's actually break it down. We're going to look at the three core pieces of CyberAgent's business, because each one tells a totally different story about the company's health and its game plan for the future. We've basically got a hero, a rising star, and, well, a bit of a laggard.
All right, first up, let's talk about the hero of this story, the game division. Its performance this quarter? Absolutely spectacular. It wasn't just good, it was a record-breaking, forecast-shattering level of success. And this chart right here? It just lays it all out. Look at this. Operating profit for games went from 5.1 billion yen in the same quarter last year, all the way up to 16.4 billion yen this year. That's a 3.2 times increase in just 1 year.
So this wasn't just one lucky shot in the dark. It was a powerful combination of factors. Two brand new games, SD Gundam and Shadowverse, were instant massive hits. At the same time, their existing blockbuster, Uma Musume, just kept on performing. Then you add in a really smart business move, shifting to external payment platforms, which bumped up their profit margins, and boom, you've got the recipe for this kind of success.
But this quarter's success story isn't just about games. The second piece of really good news comes from their media and IP division. This includes their streaming service, Abima, and for years, this has been the company's big long-term bet.
And this is a huge milestone. I mean, for years, Abima was something they were pouring money into, a big strategic investment. But now, that bet is finally paying off. It brought in 2.2 billion yen in profit. That's a nearly 8-fold increase from last year. This is a huge deal for them. It proves the whole strategy is actually working.
Okay, but it wasn't all sunshine and roses. The third part of their business, and it's actually their oldest and most established division, internet advertising, well, it ran into some serious trouble this quarter.
So here's the deal with their ad business. On one hand, it's still a monster, bringing in over 111 billion yen in revenue. But on the other hand, the profits, they dropped by more than 35%. And that was because they lost a big client and their costs went up. It's a really good reminder that even your biggest, most reliable cash cow can face pressure.
So what have we got? A monster quarter for games, a huge strategic win for media, and some weakness in the ad business. It's a pretty complex picture, right? Now, before we get into their strategy for the future, there was one kind of curious little detail in this quarter's report that's worth mentioning.
So you might be thinking, was this a perfect quarter? I mean, the headlines look amazing. But if you dig deep into the report, you find this little nugget that kind of shows that even on your best day, things don't always go 100% according to plan.
Yeah, it turns out that on the very same day they've released these incredible results, the company also had to put out an apology for forgetting to disclose some information about investment funds in the past. Now, to be clear, this had zero impact on the financial numbers we've been talking about, but it's just, a little reminder that even these huge, successful companies have to keep their paperwork in order.
All right, let's get back to the big picture here, because their real long-term strategy, their big bet, isn't just about making one-off hit games.
It's about building this powerful, self-reinforcing thing they call an IP ecosystem. And the whole point of this is to turn those quick, fleeting hits into franchises that last for years.
So here's their playbook. It's pretty simple, actually. Step 1, create. They develop their own original content, think anime or manga. Step 2, build. They use their own streaming service, Abema, plus global marketing, to build a huge, dedicated audience around that content. And then step 3, monetize. They launch games, sell merchandise, and hold live events, all based on that IP that people now love. See how that works? It's like a flywheel, just spinning and creating more and more value at every turn.
Okay, so after digging through all of that, what's the bottom line? What are the big takeaways from this pretty wild quarter? Let's break it down.
All right, here are the 4 things you really need to remember. First, those record-breaking forecasts, almost entirely because of the explosive growth in their games division. Second, their media and IP business is now officially profitable. That's a massive strategic goal they just hit. Third, the ad business, which has always been their cash cow, is showing some real signs of slowing down. And fourth, and this is maybe the most important part, the long game for them isn't just about hit games. It's about building a sustainable IP empire.
And that leaves us with the big, lingering question, right? A couple of hit games can give you this massive, incredible boost, but that success can be really volatile. So the real test for CyberAgent now is, can they take all this momentum, all this cash, and use it to build that truly sustainable media and IP empire they're dreaming of? You know, was this quarter just a lucky break, a flash in the pan? Or is this the start of a whole new era for the company? That's what everyone is going to be watching.